How to deploy AI crew. During the planning phase, the first player, after distributing their crew, will deploy the AI crew for them by using the AI deck. Simply turn over the AI card and follow the instructions on the card. Distribute AI crew clockwise from the base. Match resource amounts. Excess crew either attack or defend. The AI will attack the highest value base facing. So on the card, it shows us here that we place 2 of the Tango's crew in the orange mine, but we must match resource amounts. So moving clockwise from Tango's base, we move to the orange mine around the map, and we'll place 1 here. Now it tells us to place another crew in the orange mine, but there's only 1 resource, so we match resource amounts. So when we can't complete that action, we take the action below, which is defend his base. So we place 1 crew in defence. We move to the next section. It says place 2 crew in the pink mines. So moving clockwise, we would place 1 there, but there's no resources to match. So we carry on moving around. We would place them here because there's 1 resource, but alien raiders are in this zone. So we don't place 1 here because we can't deploy crew in zones with alien raiders. So then we have to take the action below, which is attack. So when we attack, the AI will attack the highest value base facing on the board. We've got 2 crew here we need to deploy in the pink mines, but we can't deploy in the pink mines. So we have to make them attack. So we look at the map and we can see that this is the highest value base facing. Echo has got 1 resource which is worth 3 points. So we will deploy 1 of the AI crew in attack. Now we need to deploy the next one to attack because we also can't place the next guy at the pink mines. And we can only place 1 crew attacking each base facing direction. So we have to find the next highest on the map value base facing. So we can see here, this is worth 1, this is worth 2, this is worth 2, and this is worth, well, that's his own base, so he's not obviously going to attack his own base. So moving clockwise around the map, we would deploy him into the next highest facing on the board. So here we can see that this is the next highest value facing. So he is going to attack Alpha's base from the south. Next we move to the blue section and we can see we've got 3 to be deployed in the blue mines, so we take 3 crew. And moving clockwise around the base, we deploy 1 here because there's 1 resource. We move around, we place 1 here because there's 1 resource. Now we can't place another because there's only 1 resource at each of those locations. So again, we attack. It shows here he moves to attack the next highest value base facing. So moving around the map, I've already got 1 guy here, so I can't deploy here. Moving around, this is the next highest value, so he's going to attack here. And then finally, I've got 1 crew to distribute at the green mines, so moving clockwise, I place them here. And that's the AI distributed for Tango. So let's quickly go through that again for Alpha. So here Alpha is deploying 1 crew at the orange mine. Well, there's 1 resource to match it, so yes, we've got 1 crew to deploy in the pink mine. Moving from Alpha's base, we can't deploy here and we can't deploy there because there's no resource. So he attacks the highest value base facing. So from there, this is my base. So poor old Echo is getting attacked here again. We deploy 1 crew in the blue mines. So from here, moving clockwise, well, here we go, you place 1 there. Then we deploy 5 crew at the green mines. So from here, so we're deploying 5 troops. Moving from Alpha, we're going to deploy 1 here. Moving around again, we're going to deploy 1 here. Moving around again, we're going to deploy 1 here. Then starting from Alpha's base again, we're going to place 1 here because there's still another resource. Now we're not going to place 1 here because there's only 1 resource to match. We're going to place 1 guy here. And there we go. That's the AI deployed and we're ready for the combats in the next rounds. Occasionally, with the AI, we might get to a situation where we can't perform the above action or the below action. So in this example, we are going to deploy the Alpha crew. And the first action is to deploy one in the orange mine. And we match the resources there. So there's one resource there. So we place one there. Then we move to the next and it's place 2 at the pink mines. So we look at the pink mines. Moving clockwise from Alpha's base, we can see we would place 1 here, but we can't because the alien raiders are there and there's no resources at this location. So we've got 2 crew here, which would be, which can't be placed. So they take the action underneath. Now the action underneath says attack a base facing. So when they attack a base, they attack the highest value base facing on the board. As we can see with this setup, it's the beginning of the game. And so there's no resources at any bases. So what happens in that situation? Well, in that situation, if they can't perform either of these 2 actions, then they move down the line and they join this group. So this group, it says to deploy 3 in the blue. So we will add the 2 from that zone and now they will get deployed in the blue mines. So in this case, they would get deployed, moving from Alpha's base. We'd have 1 here, we'd move around, we'd place 1 there. Again, we've still got 3 more to deploy, so we'd place another 1 here. And then we've got another 2 to deploy, but we can't fit them at any of the other locations, so they perform the action underneath. Again, it's an attack action. Well, there's no bases with resources to raid, so they move down the action queue and they join this section. So now we have 4 AI crew to deploy in the green mines. So again, we deploy 1 here, moving around clockwise, 1 here, 1 here, carry on around, and we deploy 1 there. And that's the AI setup for the next phase.